नमस्कार, बहुत-बहुत स्वागत है गाइस आपके अपने ही चैनल KFCS और स्पोर्ट्स बेट पर। आज टॉपिक ऑफ डिस्कशन जिसमें आज बात होने वाली है इंडिया वर्सेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया वुमेन। कल मेरे साथ पैनलिस्ट में बैठे थे कृष्णा और राहुल और इनसे बातचीत हो रही थी और इनसे जानने का प्रयास कर रहे थे कि क्या कल कौन-सी टीम जीतेगी और उम्मीद बहुत ज़्यादा थी हमें। और अनफॉर्च्यूनेटली आप कह सकते हैं कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम ने भारत का आउटप्लेड किया है और ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम का क्या ये साल रहा है, क्या ज़बरदस्त साल रहा है ये ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम का। मैं कहूँगा कि ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम का साल बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त रहा है और ऐसा साल बहुत ही हालाँकि ऑस्ट्रेलिया के लिए कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, लेकिन मैं समझता हूँ कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम बहुत लकी मेंस और वुमेन्स दोनों ने डोमिनेट किया इस साल और आज वीडियो में खासकर बात उन्हीं की होगी क्योंकि 2023 की अगर अचीवमेंट की बात करें तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया छाई रही पूरे 2023 में। ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने तीनों फॉर्मेट में कब्ज़ा किया है। तो आज हम बात करेंगे और आपको लिंक प्रोवाइड कर देता हूँ, जहाँ से आप मेरे साथ जुड़ सकते हैं, अपनी बात को रख सकते हैं। तो आज का जो गेम हुआ बहुत ही निराशाजनक रहा। मैं एक वक़्त पे सोच रहा था कि जब ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने टॉस जीत के बैटिंग का फैसला किया तो मुझे लगा था कि शायद हम ये मैच जीत सकते हैं। बट हमें ये नहीं पता था कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया की टीम हमें पूरी तरह से आउटप्लेड कर देगी और हम मैंने बिल्कुल भी हार की उम्मीद तो मैंने बिल्कुल भी नहीं की थी। जिस तरह से हार हुई है ये बहुत ही मैं इस हार को पचा नहीं पा रहा हूँ, जिस तरह से ऑस्ट्रेलिया की टीम ने हराया है हमें और पूरी तरह से फ्लॉप रही बैटिंग, पूरी तरह से मतलब कोई आया ही नहीं, कोई खेल ही नहीं पाया पूरी आज स्कोर बोर्ड की मैं थोड़ी-सी बात कर लेता हूँ। जिस तरह से ऑस्ट्रेलिया ने टॉस जीत के बैटिंग का फैसला किया, हमारी टीम ने अच्छी बॉलिंग की। मैं ये नहीं कहता कि बॉलिंग बेकार की क्योंकि 255 का जो स्कोर था, मैं समझता हूँ एक अचीवेबल स्कोर था क्योंकि 282 का जो स्कोर था उसको बना लिया था ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम ने बड़े आसानी से, तो मुझे लगा था कि आपको जब ओस होगी तो उसपे आपको एक बड़ा स्कोर बनाना चाहिए। 255 का स्कोर बनाया था और उसमें भी हमारी बॉलिंग बहुत शानदार थी। अगर रन्स किसी ने बनाए वो लिचफील्ड ने बनाया था। पीओबी लिचफील्ड अ, हेली सस्ते में आउट हो गए थे, एलिसा पेरी ने एक और अर्धशतक लगाया, उसके बाद मुनी सस्ते में आउट हो गई थी, टायलर मैग्रा आउट हो गई थी, गार्डनर भी नहीं चली थी, सदरलैंड और ब्रेहम ने थोड़ी बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन ज़रूर की थी। तो एट द एंड जैसे-तैसे अलाना किंग ने भी रन्स बनाए थे, तो एक रिस्पेक्टेबल टोटल था 258 विनिंग टोटल नहीं कह सकता हूँ मैं ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया टीम के लिए और इंडियन टीम ने आज बहुत ज़्यादा निराश किया गाइस मतलब इतने ऐसी उम्मीद मैंने बिल्कुल भी नहीं की थी कि इंडियन टीम इतनी बेकार परफ़ॉर्मेंस करेगी और ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम ने अंत में जाते-जाते वुमेन्स टीम ने भी ये पूरी तरह से साल बहुत अच्छा किया और हमारी वुमेन्स टीम ने भी डिसअपॉइंट किया। हम सीरीज़ हार गए और आज जिसने बेस्ट परफ़ॉर्मेंस किया उसका नाम है दीप्ति शर्मा। पहली बॉलर बन चुकी हैं दीप्ति शर्मा जिन्होंने 5 विकेट लिए हैं अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया। तो पहली बॉलर जिसने 5 विकेट लिए दीप्ति शर्मा 10 रन 10 ओवर में 38 रन 5 विकेट। क्या ज़बरदस्त स्पेल था ये। बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त स्पेल अगर मैं बात करूँ तो बहुत ही ज़बरदस्त और ऐसी परफ़ॉर्मेंस की उम्मीद रहती है दीप्ति शर्मा से लगातार बैटिंग हुई है। दीप्ति शर्मा ही ने 9 विकेट्स चटकाए थे अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलियन टीम और देखिए यहाँ पर भी इंग्लैंड के अगेंस्ट भी अच्छा परफ़ॉर्मेंस था। तो बहुत ही बेहतरीन परफ़ॉर्मेंस किया और बिल्कुल, बहुत ज़बरदस्त बॉलिंग की लेकिन जवाब में जब भारत की टीम खेलने उतरी, तो यस्तिका भाटिया और स्मृति मंधाना ने एक डिसेंट सा अ, शुरुआत दिया मतलब ठीक-ठाक आप कह सकते हैं कि 37 रन जोड़े थे, लेकिन उसके बाद एक बड़ी पार्टनरशिप होती है जिसमें ऋचा घोष और स्मृति मंधाना के बीच स्मृति मंधाना का विकेट जब एलेना किंग लेती है, तो वहाँ से टीम थोड़ी बिखरती हुई नज़र आती है। जेमिमा रॉड्रिक्स अपना पूरा ही अ, कोशिश करती है रन्स बनाने की, 44 रन बनाती है, लेकिन हरमनप्रीत कौर फ्लॉप हो जाती है 10 गेंदों में 5 रन। वहाँ से इंडियन टीम की जो है हार ऑलमोस्ट दिख रही होती है। ऋचा घोष और दीप्ति शर्मा कोशिश पूरा करते हैं और कहीं न कहीं मुझे लगता है कि जो डॉट बॉल्स खेले ऋचा घोष ने इनिंग्स बहुत अच्छी की नो डाउट, लेकिन कभी-कभी क्या होता है कि जब आप बॉल्स ज़्यादा वेस्ट करने लगते हैं, तो वो चीज़ें लास्ट में इम्पैक्ट करती है, जो कि इम्पैक्ट भी किया लास्ट में। 117 गेंदों में 96 रन ज़रूर बनाए। अगर आप इतनी बॉल्स यूज़ करते हैं, तो आपको फिनिश भी करना होता है और वो फिनिश वो नहीं कर पाई अनफॉर्च्यूनेटली, शतक से भी चूके और टीम भी नहीं जीत पाई। 3 रन से टीम हार गई, 4 रन से आप शतक चूक गए। शायद अगर आप रन्स बनाते, रन्स करते तो चीज़ें बेटर हो सकती थी। आपको फिनिश करना चाहिए था। मेरे हिसाब से ऋचा घोष ही एक ऐसी थी जिसको फिनिश करना चाहिए था, दीप्ति शर्मा और नीचे कोई ऐसा बल्लेबाज बचा नहीं, हरमन देओल भी आउट हो जाती है जो कि सब्स्टिट्यूट आते हैं। तो बहुत निराशाजनक, मतलब मैं उम्मीद बिल्कुल भी नहीं कर रहा था। तो मेरे साथ है कृष्णा। हेलो कृष्णा, हेलो राहुल, हाउ आर यू
Hi
बोथ ऑफ
Kunal.
यू?
Yeah,
Rahul, another heartbreak, another series loss, and another achievement for Australian team.
yeah, yes, definitely an achievement for the Australian team. They should have. They were nowhere in this match. Actually, they had no business winning this match. It was India's match to lose. It was 159 for 2 in 33 overs. From there, we should have definitely won the match. 8 wickets in hand and less than a run a ball required in modern day cricket with 17 overs to go.
Rahul,
It
I
should
don't
be very
expect this
easy.
from Richa Ghosh. He's wasting so many balls. I see the match clearly. He's wasting so many balls, and at the end, we are not be able to make runs. And he's not completing his century, not completing the match.
It is disappointing, but actually, you cannot blame Richa Ghosh too much. She
Harmanpreet
did
Kaur
her job.
also. Harmanpreet
She
Kaur.
did her job. She got 96 of 117. Jemima Rodriguez 44 of 55. Smriti Mandana, I mean, she didn't make a big score, but 34 of 38, still a decent score. So
But
they set up the
Harmanpreet
platform
Kaur
nicely.
disappointed means 10 ball, 5 runs.
The
Not
platform was
acceptable.
uh, laid very nicely for India to go on and win. Deepti Sharma couldn't scored only one boundary, and that too in the last over when 16 runs were required to win. Just one boundary from 36 balls coming to bat at the death. I mean, it's a terrible knock. In my opinion. Then Amanjat Kaur failed, Pooja Vastrakar failed, Harleen Diol failed. So they couldn't make use of the platform that was set and get the job done for the team. Today, the series should have been level 1-1. Unfortunately, it is not. Anyway, story of the year for Indian cricket. This is the story of the year, and it's full of disasters and heartbreak. This is how the year has gone, be it men's cricket or women's cricket. This is how uh, things have been going.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so Krishna, your views on today's match means I can't digest this loss.
Yeah, definitely. It's a heartbreaking loss. It's a match India should have won very comfortably, and
Krishna,
they
can
didn't
you
do
hear
it.
me? Krishna, can you hear me? Krishna?
Me.
Yeah, so Krishna, your views. India lost to Australia
Yes, yes,
women.
I also thought India would have won when Jemima Rodriguez and Richa Ghosh was batting that time. I thought India women's would end on high, but after Jemima Rodriguez wicket, then Amrapreet also didn't score runs, and she's not scoring runs in this match also, and in this ODI match also. I don't think what she's doing. As a captain, she's not stepping up, and nobody thought Richa Ghosh would score 96 because everyone thought that Smriti Mandhana, then Hamrapreet Kaur, they will score runs. But unfortunately, nowhere Richa Ghosh scored runs, 96 runs, and that Richa Ghosh catch also was very good catch by uh, I don't know who took the catch, but the Sutherland was bowling. I heard, and she was bowling very well in that overs. And Australia giving heartbreaks is not only for Indians but for Pakistans also, South Africans also, for this year they only gave heartbreaks to other teams and they were winning everything. So it's not only yeah, mostly Australia gave heartbreak to India's only, but if you remember us, they gave a semi-final heartbreak to South Africa also, Pakistan also, when Pakistan were going to win 98 for 98 runs in 5 wickets. That time also Australia were in behind, but women's delivered and won the match. So in this match, this year was for Australia only. It so yeah, it was sad that India couldn't win match also, and this would it's a very bad year for Indian team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so let's come to the main topic of the video, that is 2023. What is happening in this year? So many new changes were there, but let's first talk about the first, that is Australia domination. So Rahul, Australian dominating, whether it is female or male, means men's or women's. In women's, they pick T20 World Cup. In men's, they pick World Test Championship and ODI World Cup also. And both the teams win the series, the Test series against Pakistan and now Test series against India. So Rahul, what is, means I think this is the first time for Australia that they are dominating in a single year. Single year they are dominating
Well,
completely.
they've been dominant before. They know how to get on top in cricket in big tournaments. That is, they've got big match mentality. Women's team has been dominant for a while, but really the men's team, they also stepped it up, and you can see that they prepared pretty meticulously for these tournaments. The World Test Championship final, while Indians were off playing the IPL tournament, Australian players prepared for the final. They skipped the IPL and they prepared for the final, knowing that they have to prepare for this final and that playing IPL will disrupt their preparations. They skipped the IPL this year. They really prioritized international cricket. And actually, Australia was not so well prepared for the 50 over World Cup, but everything came together. They have a set template, they know who's going to play regardless. And when players came out of injuries, in spite of having a sluggish start at the World Cup, they finally raised their game and went on to win the World Cup. Um,
And
and
big
they won
player,
it defeating
Travis
all the
Head.
teams.
Travis Head
We
was
talk
coming
about
in mid tournament.
Yes, Travis Head came mid tournament and stepped up their game. Actually, they were not so well prepared for the ODI World Cup, but they managed to raise their game in the end. Uh, and good thing is they had actually an ODI series in India before the World Cup. Although they lost that series, they still played those three matches and got some exposure to Indian conditions. That has to be said. And during the World Cup, while people, I mean, Indian fans say that we won every match until the final, and they still are bragging about that, boasting about that. But I think they're missing something. Australia, although they lost their first two matches against India and South Africa in the group stage, they came back and defeated South Africa and India to win the title. So they have won this World Cup very deservingly. So they've defeated every team in the World Cup as well, not just India. They defeated every team in the World Cup as well, and their wins against India and South Africa came in the most crucial stages. So they really raised their game when it mattered. And this team doesn't play together too much outside the World Cups, but they know how to win together. They know how to win World Cups. This is actually the second time that they won the World Cup together. In 2015, they won it in Australia. So this is their second ODI World Cup trophy in the last three editions. So they really put together a very good team.
Yeah, of course. And one more thing, Rahul, we have to say that the way Australian team are managing, especially Australian board, how they manage their players means one time Big Bash is also there, your series is also there. So they have properly focused that yes, this player is prioritized for this series and this player prioritized for Big Bash. So everything is managed. Even we as an Indian can't manage things. We are always prioritizing IPL first. That yes, first play IPL and then other things.
Yes, that is absolutely the case. And See, first of all, when Australia does workload management over there, it's workload management mainly for the pace bowlers like Mitchell Stark, Josh Hazelwood, and Pat Cummins, who are more prone to injury. We are
Yeah,
doing workload management for Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, who are batsmen. They're not fast bowlers who need to be uh, uh, managed. Yes, they are getting older, and that is there, and yeah, they will have some fitness issues because of their, which is age related, but we are overdoing it, to be very frank. They're taking more rest than they need. And actually, now after the World Cup was finished, Kohli and Rohit, they had 1 month off. They had 1 month worth of rest, and still they came and performed very badly against South Africa. This tour was also mismanaged. We had pretty different teams for the Test team, the ODI team, and the T20 team. And yet, we didn't arrange a practice match for the Test team. We were doing intra squad practice. What good is intra squad practice? Frankly speaking, before a tour, this is not how you prepare. And BCCI should have requested Cricket South Africa to arrange a practice match against a domestic team. You're not doing that. Look, there was actually an India A versus South Africa A series going on, and the second test happened in parallel with the first test. What kind of a preparation is that? Frankly speaking, you both the test matches should have been before the test series, and the guys playing the test series should have played in the India A versus South Africa A series to get preparation for the series. So this is how things are being managed. The team management has been ordinary for a very long time right now, even under Virat Kohli and perhaps under Dhoni too. But it's gotten even worse under Rohit Sharma. It has to be said. It's gotten even worse, and it's not going to improve anytime soon. We People are praising the team management over the Asia Cup and the World Cup. Still, we didn't win the World Cup, though. They were good actually during that time, from September 1st of 2023 to November 18th, 2023. The team management did a very good job, but that's a complete outlier. If you really take these 2 years in perspective, being good for 2 months out of 2 years is not enough. Having one unexpected dream run, even if it's in a World Cup and an Asia Cup, is not good enough. If finally we don't even win the World Cup, had we won the World Cup, you could actually sing their praise and say at least they won the World Cup. We can say that we managed the team in a way that they, stayed fresh for the World Cup and they went on to win that. But we don't even have the World Cup title now. So everything else does come under scrutiny.
yeah, of course. Okay, so Krishna, how you sum up the Indian cricket team performance means we have good opportunity to pick two ICC trophies, that is ODI World Cup, World Test Championship, but unable to perform.
See, as Rahul Bhai said that WTC final was unprepared. Indian players didn't for that final. If you see, many players were performing in IPL and scoring runs. And Kohli also had a good IPL season, but when it come to final, he failed. So in the last WTC against New Zealand, also he didn't score runs for Indian team. So in IPL he scored runs, but when it came against final against Australia, he didn't score runs. So and even the bowling attack also means they didn't give practice sessions in UK to give practice sessions to players, and they didn't get much practice matches in UK also before the final. They should have arranged it if you want to adjust the conditions. And it was unauthorized by BCCI that they didn't conduct any practice, any match fitness in WTC final. It seems that they were unprepared for that final. Indian team won the BGT, still they lost the final. That was also shame that you played the same Australian team in the BGT. The bowlers were same. Siraj was there. Only one Bumrah was missing, and you didn't pick Ashwin also in that WTC final. That was also pathetic by BCCI because Ashwin knows how to bowl to Smith and Head. And we saw in last time in BGT also, Ashwin took both Smith and Head wicket also. So this was This was not good by BCCI. They didn't select proper players properly, and KL should have played in the WTC final. He's a good overseas batsman, better than KS Bharat. KS Bharat failed in that WTC final in both the innings. I feel, and KS Bharat dropped also two catches in the final. I feel he didn't keep very well in the WTC final as well. So that's why I said that KS Bharat shouldn't have played in the final.
Yeah, yeah, of course,
That
of
was
course.
mismanagement by BCCI.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
the
guys.
World Test Championship final was mismanaged on all fronts, and actually, uh, frankly speaking, to add on to Krishna and I's point, unfortunately, when you have only 10 days between IPL final and World Test Championship final, where is the time for practice match? Unfortunately, yes, we should have had a practice match, but practice match can only happen if you reach the UK 20 days or something before the final.
Rahul, it
After
is
the fact,
simple. You can take the last week of IPL, means don't play playoffs and
definitely.
finals. Just go and
Absolutely.
prepare.
And frankly speaking, Rohit Sharma, he has won the IPL 5 times as a captain, and he is so rich. He's loaded with money. Missing 2 or 3 matches is not going to have an impact on his bank balance or anything
Yeah,
that he needs to play those matches. And after the fact, Rohit Sharma said we should have had 20 or 25 days practice, but when he was given the choice, he chose to play the IPL. So he can't blame anyone else over there. And even in the 10 days, I want to point this out, even in the 10 days where the Indian team was in the UK, the 10 days before the final, what were they doing? They were doing nothing. You could see on Instagram, they were just going and attending football matches, doing shopping and all that, and just
yeah,
roaming around London doing sightseeing. They were not practicing for the final. See, the World Test Championship final, although actually in the match India fought well on the third and fourth days, it's no use because India was already behind the 8 ball on the first 2 days. Australia already gained the upper hand on the first 2 days. So on day three and day four, even though India was competitive, we were just playing catch up in the game. We were just somehow staying in the match, surviving. So no use, frankly speaking. And then day five again, India completely collapsed and lost in embarrassing fashion. But the result really reflects how prepared both teams were for the final. One team came to the final and prepared and took the final seriously. The other team just came for time pass. We had a nice tour of London where we played a cricket match in between. That's all that happened. And another point I want to add on regarding the match is you see, we ended up leaving out Ashwin only because of the fact that we don't have a pace bowling all rounder. And that means that between Ashwin and Jadeja, if you have to choose one spinner, they end up going with Jadeja because Jadeja is the better batsman. This is where Ashwin gets left out of the team, and this is because of our problem of not having a pace bowling all rounder. It came back to bite us, to be very frank, because if we have a pace bowling all rounder, we can afford to have both Ashwin and Jadeja in the playing 11 in any kind of conditions because they can both bat as well as bowl. And Ashwin can be very useful against left-handed batsmen in any conditions. We have seen that time and again um, in Test match cricket. Another mistake I think that happened in the final is choosing to bowl first. I understand that yeah, the conditions were overcast during the first hour, but it was only overcast during the first hour. It was not uh, like the ball was swinging constantly throughout day one. Only during the first hour we had to negotiate that, and as a test team, you have to be able to negotiate those kind of conditions. When you're playing test cricket in England, you have to sometimes negotiate those kind of conditions, especially when you're playing in a final in a high pressure game and you don't know how the pitch is going to play later on. And there was even a rain forecast for day four and day five. I remember that very well. When you have those things, factors to deal with, choosing to bat fourth is not the wise decision when you're playing a knockout match and you have to deal with tough conditions. So that was a completely wrong move by Rohit Sharma, choosing to bowl first, and that ended up. And Australia was able to take initiative in the very first 2 days and set the tone for the match.
yeah, of course. And one more thing I have to say about World Cup final, means this was a good opportunity for a team to win World Cup in finals, because even I can't digest this loss. World Cup final loss. Because in World Cup final you have great opportunity. You play in Ahmedabad before you played against Pakistan team, and you have played so many games in Ahmedabad. So I don't see the way Rahul Dravid coming in a press conference. He's saying that pitch was not according to us. Of course, yeah, you are a home team. You know the pitch really well. You can choose the pitch according to you, but reality is that you when you are
Rahul,
doing so much experiment
see,
in pitch, you can lose.
See, Rahul Dravid is the one who requested the pitch. He got the pitch that he requested for. It was the team management that requested the pitch, and they even chose not to change the pitch. They didn't use a fresh pitch during the final. They used
Yeah.
an already used pitch under the request of the Indian team management. So it's absolute nonsense of Rahul Dravid to come and suggest that the to come and blame the pitch for the loss. This is not very good. You lost a final in home conditions with conditions which you requested for. So he should be taking responsibility instead. Frankly speaking, if I were BCCI selectors, unfortunately, our selectors are no good either. But if I were the selectors, I will fire Rahul Dravid after this. After getting the pitch that you requested for, you're playing final in home ground in front of 132 fans, including in front of home minister, prime minister, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
and you get humiliated. You cannot come and blame, make excuses like this for losing the final. And I wanted
Yeah.
to point out, Rohit Sharma was setting attacking field placements throughout the tournament, and bowling was also aggressive. What happened in the final? I want to know. We had Australia at 47 for 3 uh, when we were defending 242. 240 is not a big score. You have to set attacking fields at that point. How did we defend 229 against England in Lucknow? By setting
Yeah.
attacking fields and bowling in an attacking manner, we defended that total. This is what we had to do in Ahmedabad in the final. What happened from 47 for 3? I want to know that you're spreading out the field and allowing easy singles, ones and twos, as though those field placements were as though we were defending 340 or 440. You're defending 240. You can't afford to be so defensive in your field placements.
Okay. Okay, guys, this is the Indian cricket team performance in 2023. But now let's talk about some achievements. So first achievement for us is first time in Asian Games, cricket is introduced and we got a gold medal. That is really a big achievement for us, our women's team who beat Sri Lanka. That is really great. And Rahul beating Sri Lanka was not an easy because in Sri Lanka women's is very dominating team. And if you are beating Sri Lanka in final by Indian women's team, that is really achievement, picking a gold medal.
Yeah, well, this unfortunately, without I mean, jokes apart, without World Test Championship final, without World Cup final, this is an achievement we have to look at. Yeah, gold medal in the Asian Games. It's good to be the first one to win the gold medal in the Asian Games, and I'm happy we did it, defeating a team
And we
like
got good
Sri Lanka.
youngster also. Yeah, like Hassan Jaiswal, Rinku Singh. Their performance we have seen in Asian Games that yes, they are a good caliber. They can play T20.
Yes, absolutely. There are some positives to be taken from the Asian Games. I hope it'll. I wish the Indian women's team very well. Hopefully, there will be a very good future ahead for the Indian team. Don't know. I mean, actually, to be honest, sorry to make this a bit negative, but whether Asian Games is an achievement or not, given Indian team is generally the best team in Asia. So yeah, it's one of the achievements of the year. I mean, compared to every all the other results, but
Yeah,
uh, frankly speaking, I hope we will continue to show that we're the best team in the world. But anyway, this is a decent achievement. Always good to win medals in the Asian Games. So yeah, I'm
and in
happy with
fact,
this.
in cricket will be included in Commonwealth also. So Harshit, how you sum up means the gold medal in Asian Games and Commonwealth game also cricket will be added. So how much you sum up? Both women and men's team win gold medal in Asian Games.
Asian Games we have won. but somehow we should have won the World Cup. That really
Yeah,
haunts.
but winning a gold medal is different respect. Means in the country you will be respected. Means if you are winning a gold medal, so it will be very respectful for you.
Yes, yes, very much respectful, and Rituraj Gaikwad done a very good job in captaincy. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
In fact, in one match, I remember Rahul, Nepal was looking very good against Team India. Might be that target will be chased at some stage.
Yes, they really gave India a scare. I remember that was the quarter-final match. India
Yeah,
held their nerve over there, but I think the real question mark over this Asian Games achievement is not just the quality of opponents, but I'm even heard that the ground in Hangzhou, where this
yeah.
games happened,
That was
was
not
just
that
40-meter
good.
boundary. The boundaries are not very huge in this ground, so that kind of actually puts a little bit of a question mark over this achievement. Winning gold medals is fine, but we have to also take it to the next level by, I think, winning a gold medal in the Commonwealth Games. Actually, last year in 2022, Commonwealth Games was in Birmingham, and the Indian women's team, they really missed the opportunity to win the gold medal. We defeated England in the semi-finals, and in the finals we were winning against Australia, and much like today's ODI match, there also India choked and went on to lose the final. So that was another heartbreak. And Indian women's team has also produced many heartbreaks like
Yeah,
this, and where they had chances and then they came close and they lost. So like men's team, like women's team, choking is happening. It's good to see cricket in the Asian Games. For
and in upcoming Commonwealth game also there will be a
See,
cricket.
I
So
think for the greater good, it's also good to see cricket in the Olympics, because will help promote the sport.
yeah, of course, of course. Okay, so Krishna, how you sum up this achievement means apart from all the setback, we should take the gold medal as a granted that yes, something we have achieved.
Yes, Kunal. Yes, Kunal. For playing their first Asian Games, and Ruturaj was the captain, and in women's team, Preet was captain in the Asian. It was good achievement that they won the Asian Games. Asian teams and no Sena team still for the Asia. India won the gold, so that's a big. So good achievement by Ruturaj and all others stepped up. Means you see Arshdeep also stepped final and Rinku Singh also stepped up. Jaiswal also stepped up. So these young talents are getting more opportunities in the team. In the means first time playing cricket in Hangzhou for these players. That's also it's a good achievement. Played first time in Hangzhou and won the gold medal for India.
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay, guys, now let's come to another achievement that is means India should be proud of. Virat Kohli 50th 100 in ODI match in front of Sachin Tendulkar. Rahul, this is very rare occasion. Means you are breaking the record in front of that player who is playing, who is in the cricket audience, and you are making a century in a big game that is semi-final against New Zealand. So big achievement for Team India. Rememberable match for us because 7 wickets from Mohammad Shami and we qualified for final.
Yeah, definitely a memorable match. The match before the World Cup final heartbreak. Back when we really thought India was going to lift the World Cup, we had our hopes very high. I remember Rohit Sharma in that match really set the tone. He played, like he was playing like Virender Sehwag 2.0 throughout the tournament. He kind of, and his batting was amazing, underrated. The thing about Rohit Sharma during the World Cup was his batting, because he said that I'm going to bat in a very confident way. Basically, he played like how Virender Sehwag played for India all these years, how Brendan McCullum played for New Zealand in the 2015 World Cup. Like that, Rohit Sharma was playing during this World Cup. And in the semi-final, in 2019, in the semi-final, Trent Bolt came and destroyed the Indian top order of Rohit Sharma, KL Rahul, and Virat Kohli. In 2023 semi-final, Rohit Sharma completely took Trent Bolt on. was hitting Trent Bolt all over the park, and he gave India a flying start. He really set the tone for the innings, and then Virat Kohli came and did what he did was doing best throughout the tournament. Was ensuring no wickets falling in the middle overs, and he really played a great knock. Virat Kohli has forever been criticized for not scoring in the big matches, much like Rohit Sharma. Both of them really stepped up that day. They did actually, they did so in the final as well, but no greater time for Virat Kohli to score that 50th ODI century, scoring it in a semi-final. Wankhede, Tendulkar's home ground in front of Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, it's also a special ground because
And Rahul, it
Wankhede
is
Stadium.
very pressure for you also. Means when you are playing semi-final, you have to complete that milestone. That is another
Yes,
pressure also.
absolutely. It's a lot of pressure, and Wankhede Stadium actually is a special place for Indian cricket. Holds a great place in Indian cricket memories because don't forget we won the 2011 World Cup in Wankhede Stadium. That's where India lifted the 2011 World Cup, and Virat played a crucial innings in that match too, where he scored 35 of 49 runs and had the crucial partnership with Gautam Gambhir. And then this year he scored a century in the semi-final. That was really special because finally he proved his more than the milestone. I think he really proved the doubters wrong. That people thought Kohli is not stepping up in big games. He's only bilateral series merchant. They were saying all these things about him, and he came and proved people wrong in this game that he can step up and score in big games. Actually, I will say he did so in the final as well. I wish he could have scored a century in that final also. But he scored a decent knock of 54 of 63. So this time you can't say that for either Kohli or Rohit that they didn't step up in the big games. They really stepped up in the final. The problem was only Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli stepped up. All the others failed the team.
Yeah, and there was another excitement in the cricketing history that in first time Jack Crawley when there was the first ball of the Ashes and he smashed it into the boundary. So Rahul, if I see the history of cricket, I remember a one and only batsman that is Virender Sehwag, who was able to make a first ball boundary consecutively 4-5 matches in the World Cup during 2011. That was the record with Virender Sehwag, and finally in the Ashes, first time Jack Crawley make it the record that in Ashes, some first time any player hits the first ball boundary. That is Jack Crawley.
Yeah, that was quite something. You remember the 2021 to 2022 Ashes series? Mitchell Stark had clean bowled Rory Burns off the first ball of the series.
Yeah,
So in 2023, the series began very differently. Crawley hit, I think, Pat Cummins' first ball for a four, and then the very
and that
next
was the
over.
day where England also declare on the same day 300
Yes,
run.
actually, one thing that people don't remember is the very next over of the first ball of Josh Hazelwood. Ben Duckett hit a boundary as well. So
Yeah,
basically, England said, "Welcome to Baseball,
yeah,
Australia."
best ball. Yeah,
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 so
definitely.
of
Okay,
course,
so
the
Harshit, you
declaration
have any
was a
memory
surprise.
at that time when Jack Crawley hits the first ball boundary in Ashes?
Don't. What is baseball? I don't understand.
Okay,
What is baseball?
okay, you don't understand. Okay,
Baseball,
Krishna,
you will
you have.
find it when England plays. You will find when England plays basketball cricket means they play attacking cricket, positive cricket, good intent cricket. That's called basketball cricket.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, Harshit, if you look at how baseball is, you will see that basically England is playing Test cricket in an ODI style. What they will do is they will try to hit boundaries early on by piercing the field. They'll try to hit a few boundaries early on in the match, and then what will happen is the bowling side will get defensive. They will start spreading out the field, and then they will England will start taking singles and doubles in order to keep the scoreboard moving. So basically, the
So
concept of
it was the best year for Pat Cummins. I think he won everything.
yeah, it was a great year for Pat Cummins. Pat Cummins and Australia is definitely the highlight of the year in terms of men's cricket. Actually, there is one memory we didn't talk about in Indian cricket, and that actually is the biggest achievement of the year, in my opinion, and that is winning the Asia Cup, the men's
Yeah,
senior Asia Cup. I think that is a great achievement that we did, because there was lots of outrage. Actually, this Asia Cup had a lot of controversy, even the year before, when it was announced that Pakistan was going to be the host, and India didn't play in Pakistan, obviously. So there was a lot of criticism of India off the field, as well as in the first match it didn't really start off very well for India, because we got bowled out for 260 runs or something, and Pakistan did not get to come out and bat because of rain. So a lot of people were saying rain saved India from the defeat, and after that India came and proved that wrong. It was satisfying to defeat Pakistan later on in the Super 4 stage by a very big margin, and show them that if they had to come out and bat and chase 267, they wouldn't have done it. So that was satisfying. Actually, matches after that 266 all out, we bowled Pakistan out for 128. Then in the World Cup, we bowled them out for 191. So we kind of showed that they were not going to have it easy if they chased 267 in that match. But anyway, also the two matches against Sri Lanka in the both in the Asia Cup as well as in the World Cup, we really defeated Sri Lanka comprehensively.
yeah,
In fact, in the lot of people won't remember the Super 4 match against Sri Lanka, where India was defending only 216, and Sri Lanka fought very hard in that match. At one point, it looked like they were going to run
Demuth
away
Villa
with,
lage 5 wickets.
yeah,
Demuth Villa
Dimuth
lage 5 wickets
Vellalage,
plus
uh,
I think 40 runs also.
6 wickets and 40 runs. He looked like he was going to take the match away from India, but we managed to bowl Sri Lanka out and win the match. So we won a match which we really had no business winning, to be frank, in the Super 4. And then the Asia Cup final, bowling Sri Lanka out for 50 runs, and winning by 10 wickets. I mean, absolutely emphatic way to win the Asia Cup. If you remember the year before in the T20 format in Asia Cup, India couldn't make the finals. We lost to both Pakistan and Sri Lanka, and and this year we bounced back and managed to defeat both of them, and go on and win the Asia Cup without losing a single match. That was actually that was actually the time when we started getting confidence that India will go on and win the World Cup. It's because of that Asia Cup that we were able to get the confidence and take the form into the World Cup, and take it to another level, winning those 10 consecutive matches before the final. And yeah, actually, that you could say that's another memory, winning the 10 matches before the final. Unfortunately, we didn't win the final, so maybe that 10 matches looks a little bit less of a memory right now. We don't really talk about it too much. But if you look at, for the men's senior team, the biggest memory for me would be winning the Asia Cup. I think that is the biggest memory, because that really gave the team confidence that we are prepared for the World Cup at home.
Yeah, yeah. Now let's come to the another thing that we are talking about. And Rahul, we have made a separate video, the survival of ODI, means how ODI will be survived, how Test and T20 is important. Means each format has different significance. So we have done a separate video about them. And finally, in ODI World Cup, we got some of best inning, and that is Glenn Maxwell. While chasing, you are making 200 runs against a quality spin. Rashid Khan, Noor Ahmed, Mohammad Nabi. I know there was drop catches, but this type of innings survived the ODI because we need some good innings, some good match to survive the ODI because everyone is talking about Rahul, from July that how ODI will be survived. ODI should be stacked. They all are talking about. But after Maxwell innings, everyone is thinking that yes, ODI has their own significance. Can you agree with it, Rahul?
I see. I've long before anyone uh, talked about ODI cricket, I've always believed ODI cricket has significance in the sport, and lots of people will say it's neither Test cricket nor T20 cricket. That is the strength of ODI cricket, actually, because you need to have both Test and T20 skills
Yeah.
to be able to do well in ODI cricket. So it's a very important format. And for those who love Test cricket and are saying, lots of people who love Test match cricket are saying ODI cricket is irrelevant. I think for those people, I have to say that once you scrap ODI cricket, Test cricket will not survive. Anyone who thinks Test cricket will survive after scrapping ODI cricket is living in fool's paradise. To be frank, that's not going to happen. Once you scrap ODI cricket, you will see people asking for Test match cricket to be scrapped, and even worse, you might see T10 become a format. To be frank, T10 is not cricket. Even T20 is kind of cutting it fine, if you ask me. But fine, T20, it's a good format of cricket. You need a nice, fast-paced format for future fans of the sport. But ODI cricket is the nice bridge between Test match cricket and T20 cricket. It's a format actually which should attract both the purists and the modern day fans alike. It should. It's actually a format for all cricket fans. It provides great value of cricket both in attack and defense, be it batting and bowling. You have ODI cricket is the hardest format to play. Having said that, though, I have to say this ODI World Cup was a little bit disappointing in terms of close matches. We didn't have close in as many close finishes as we want. I can in fact count it on my fingers.
Yeah,
One, two, three. Only three close matches were there. Pakistan versus South Africa, where South Africa won by 1 wicket, and then Australia versus New Zealand, where
yeah,
Australia won by 5 runs. That was a great chase by New Zealand. They fell really short in the end. And then, to an extent, Australia versus Afghanistan. Maxwell really played, I think, arguably the greatest ODI innings of all time in that match. I mean, the way he took the match away from Afghanistan was absolutely unbelievable. You could say Australia versus South Africa, the semi final was fairly competitive. That was a fairly competitive semi final. You could say Australia made a good start, but South Africa bounced back. They came back into the match, but they could not pull it off. Very competitive semi final over there. New Zealand actually didn't come close to defeating India in the semi final if you look at the margin of defeat, but you could say that was a fairly competitive semi-final too, because Daryl Mitchell and Kane Williamson looked like they were going to take the game away from India at one point, and took a sensational bowling spell from Mohammad Shami to win us that match and put us in the semi-final. But overall, you have to say that the ODI World Cup unfortunately did not produce enough close results. So that is a little bit of a negative, in my opinion. Now that the T20 World Cup is coming up, you're going to see that ODI cricket is neglected. I hope that I'm happy the Champions Trophy got reinstated in
yeah.
2025, because that means some teams in between the two ODI World Cups, they will take ODI cricket somewhat seriously, at least to prepare for that Champions Trophy. I am hoping that the Champions Trophy doesn't get changed to T20 format, as reports are coming out, because you need to have that one ODI tournament in between the two World Cups to keep ODI cricket relevant. You need to have that tournament. Frankly speaking, we have two T20 World Cups coming up before the next ODI World Cup. So there is no reason to change the Champions Trophy format to ODI cricket, especially when you consider that teams have qualified for this Champions Trophy by playing an ODI World Cup. It's through ODI World Cup that the teams qualified for the Champions Trophy. So you can't change that format.
Okay. So Krishna and Harshit, do you enjoyed the Maxwell innings while chasing him making 200 runs?
No, actually, what did was happened was Afghanistan dropped too many catches. That's why Maxwell got chances.
Only two catches, bro. Only two catches, and 200 is
No, no,
very
three
big thing.
catches. Three.
It's okay, but here 200 runs. Do you think means a player who can't stand properly, he's smashing sixes and sixes in a
Yes,
single leg?
yes, but I think played well Maxwell, but I think we should give credit to our Australian attitude as well. They never give up at any situation.
Okay, Krishna, your views on Maxwell? I think this is one of the best innings. All are comparing with Kapil Dev 180, 175. Krishna, can you hear me? Okay, I think Krishna is sleeping. Okay, Okay, no issues. Okay, so next, last. So, Rahul, apart from achievements, apart from setback, we have some controversies in the cricket also. That is very famous timeout rule. Yeah, that is bring by Shakib Al Hasan. So, because of this timeout rule, we have seen so many rule changes also. So, if I tell you, Rahul, that explain this timeout rule in 2 3 words, so how could you explain it? How Shakib used this?
Very classless move by Shakib Al Hassan, I will say, to do the run timeout. The issue is not with the rule existing. As a matter of fact, the rule is a must because you don't want batsmen to take their own sweet time in coming to the crease and you waste any time. You want the game to move fast and be a fast-paced game for the sake of the TV and the the spectators and all that. So you want the game to be fast-paced. So the time existence of timed out rule makes sense, and it's been there for as long as the game has existed. It's been there for as long as the history of the sport. It's just the first time that timed out happened in international cricket during this World Cup. So that's why people are wondering why this rule is there. The problem is not with the existence of the rule, but the way Shakib Al Hassan interpreted the rule and used it. See, when you have to make exceptions to the rule sometimes. When a batsman needs a helmet, for example, that's not when
Yeah,
you use timed out and tell a batsman to leave, because you can't anything can happen in cricket. Even one ball without a helmet, you don't know what will happen. Maybe you could say if Matthews was not smart, he should have faced a ball before asking for helmet change. But what if something happened on that ball? Let's say, even if you're facing a spinner, what if maybe he miscued a sweep shot and it hit his face or something, his head or something, and he has to go to hospital? Then what will you do? Is match being delayed by 2 or 3 minutes more important, or Angelo Matthews' safety? You have to decide that. If something happened to Matthews, let's say, because he didn't wear the helmet, will umpires go and pay the hospital bill for Angelo Matthews? I mean, I just want to know. So it shows that lack of sportsmanship from Bangladesh, and frankly, given it's Bangladesh, I'm not surprised they did this. Bangladesh is a team that's not known for their sportsmanship, and in particular, Shakib Al Hassan is not known for sportsmanship. Sri Lanka was versus Bangladesh was actually already a big rivalry.
yeah,
Um,
of course.
Even before this World Cup. And as a matter of fact, in the Asia Cup, if you see, I heard that Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh tickets sold faster than India versus Pakistan. So that shows you that there is another rivalry in South Asia to rival India versus Pakistan. That's what it shows. But anyway, that aside, long and short of it is the timed out of dismissal of Angelo Matthews was a very unfair dismissal, in my opinion, and I think it's one that is likely to burn further bridges between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So, guys, these are some moments of 2023. I know we can miss someone, but it is not possible to a few good moments we have picked it, main points, main achievements. If we will talk about West Indies team, we can say this is really unfortunate. If we talk about Zimbabwe, they are very unfortunate, not qualified for Champions Trophy, not qualified for T20 World Cup, not qualified for ODI. But yes, we have covered few more points, and if anything you are thinking that yes we have missed that, you can tell us in comment section, and then we will definitely talk about. But now let's come to our channel. So if I see my channel growth during 2022 as compared to 2023, I think I have to give this credit to Rahul. Actually, I have to give this credit to Rahul because Rahul, his mind, I think it is very good in cricket. Means he knew the what type of topic we should do, and each and everything we have discussed proper way, and people have liked that. And Rahul, most number of views we are getting at the time when we are discussing about the final, India versus Australia final. and you will be very shocked that 2 hours video has been watched by 50 people during live. 2 hours video.
Wow,
That is
wow,
a
that is
achievement.
great.
And at that time, we all are very shocked. Means we are just talking about India versus Australia. Yeah, what is happening? Then we are all just telling that you play IPL. Means we have so many discussion, Rahul, at that time. But people hurting us. They are just listening us that what we are talking about. Even Pavan was there at that time.
Yes, I remember that video very well. I mean, the toughest video to do because, right after losing a final, it's not easy to, open up and talk about it.
I don't think anyone channel has played at that time. I guess I was there first. I think so.
Yeah, perhaps I'm not sure about what other channels were doing, but, and anyway, 1 month has gone by since the World Cup was lost. And frankly speaking, the future of Indian cricket is not looking very good. I'll be very surprised if we come back 1 year later and discuss 2024 and things are looking up for Indian cricket. Yeah, I'll be very surprised if that is the case. We might be here 1 year later lamenting over a test series loss against Australia at the MCG. It's very likely.
Yeah, of course. And one more achievement for me is interviewing and future cricketer. Actually, Ashutosh is not well as of now. Rahul, I got a health update. His elbow is broken. So his elbow is broken during fielding
Unfortunate.
time, and unfortunately, he is not available for IPL auction. You know Samir Rizvi. He has played against him in UP League, and he is selected for Chennai Super King. And he is very unfortunate. And next year, he is going to come back and will try his best to come in IPL auction. So at that time, 128 people saw the interview when I do interview with him. Very talented cricketer, fast bowling all rounder. Really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for him. I wish him well. Hopefully, he will recover. But well, he can take inspiration from Rishabh Pant.
Yeah,
Rishabh
Rishabh
Pant
Pant has low
got
leg
Rishabh
problem.
Pant.
Yeah, knee
Rishabh
problem.
Pant within 1 year has recovered from something like a car accident.
Yeah,
So Ashutosh can definitely take inspiration from Rishabh Pant when it comes to recovering from an injury. Hope he gets well soon. Hopefully, we will see him playing for India. I heard he's a pace bowling all rounder. Maybe he will replace Hardik Pandya one day.
yeah, yeah, of course. Okay, so Alok is saying, wow, okay, okay, he's crying. One of the worst year of my life.
Yes,
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
it is. It is Alok. We understand your pain. We all share your pain, brother.
yeah, of course, I
So
understand because bigger setback here means at least we are thinking that if we win against South Africa, then we will recover somehow. But really unfortunate.
I mean, we still have one more test to go, but to be frank, I'll be very surprised if we come back with a win in that match. I'll be
Yeah,
very
that is
surprised
really
if we win that
that is
match.
the
And
reality.
this Indian team right now doesn't look like they can turn it around. I think our best days in Test cricket are behind us already. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
of
to
course.
say this.
Yeah, of course. So, guys, we will be back on 1 January, and we will have a good video, and we will talk about more events. And I hope you all will follow me and support me like 2023. Yeah, look, I understand. I understand.
Perhaps, I mean, since the last time India won an ICC trophy, to be frank, this is one of the most heartbreaking defeats. Maybe the only other one, other major heartbreak I can really say is the 2017 Champions Trophy where we lost against Pakistan in the final. To be frank, so yeah, so probably this is the most heartbreaking, or maybe the second most heartbreaking since our last ICC tournament. But yes, absolutely, Alok, absolutely, we really missed a very good chance to win the World Cup, and because we won the Asia Cup before that, and then we had that played very well in the lateral series versus Australia, and then we had 10 wins going into the final. This was really a good chance to break our streak. I'm sure a lot of Indian fans were very confident India would finally break the streak. They gave a lot of hope in those last 2 months, and not every and to be frank, I think this streak will go on for another 3 or 4 years now, at least. I think 2026, the T20 World Cup is being hosted by India and Sri Lanka. At that time, we might have another chance again, but God knows how good our preparation would be before that World Cup. Not every time is it going to be the case that you have a 50-over World Cup at home and you have 1 month of preparation playing only ODI cricket in subcontinent. You won't have this kind of a preparation in every time. And actually, we were criticizing the preparation before the Asia Cup, if you remember correctly. But after Asia Cup, we came into very good form. We had form going for us, even if preparation was not ideal. In the little preparation that we had form on our side, and that is what made people believe that we could win the World Cup. But right now, 2024 T20 World Cup, I'll be surprised if India even reaches the semi-final of that
Yeah,
World
of
Cup.
course.
We are nowhere near prepared. We will not even have good form going into the World Cup, because the only form will be, if at all there is any form, will be IPL before the World Cup. So no hope for that. 2025 Champions Trophy, well, we don't even know where we will play, whether we're playing in Pakistan or not, or playing in UAE, we don't know. It's in ODI format again, but will we win that playing overseas? I don't know. That is also up in the air. Then 2025 the World Test Championship final, looking at the way it's going right now, we may not even reach that final. So we can forget about that. Really, the next genuine chance will come in 2026 T20 World Cup. That's where the next chance for Indian cricket to win an ICC trophy is going to come.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. So, guys, just control your emotions. A good day will also always come, and we will talk about. So, guys, just enjoy New Year and pray that something good will come for Team India and fans also, so that we will get another opportunity to celebrate. Most probably the T20 World Cup. So, guys, see you on 1 January 2024. Till then, thank you very much. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you,
Thank
Harshit.
you, Kunal.
Thank you, Alok. And Krishna Nair also for your questions. Alok, I understand. Um, I understand how you are feeling. I know it. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much, guys. Subscribe KFCS and Sportsbid. Thank you very much. Goodbye and good night.
Good night.
Right.